There is something about Chimaev insisting to the media that nobody wants to fight him. He can't get a fight. While guys are calling him out, that I got to tell you I like. I don't think of Chimaev as a troll. He doesn't need to be. I've done trolling. I will share with you, it's a lot of fun. It's really fun to get guys worked up, but you said this and you meant this, and it's just one of those things that can be a good time. And there's guys out there that are professional trolls. We see them in all walks of life. I don't know that I would put Chimaev in that category. Well, then how do I reconcile those things? How does Chimaev go out and say nobody wants to fight him while guys are calling him out? How would you do that? Does Chimaev not know? He does a lot of traveling. He's with the all-star team, just a report that I read, training in Dubai. And he was with Darren Till in Las Vegas, and I know that because I bumped into him, and I know that they went out to Thailand and did some other training. I mean, I'm just sharing for you, they move around. Not to mention his home base is in Sweden. Is it just an issue that he's going to places where they don't have the internet, right? I mean, that sounds silly, but it's a possibility. It's a possibility that he's kept from Belal Muhammad's challenges. It's a possibility Chimaev isn't aware that Alex Pereira told Ariel Helwani, I've agreed to fight Chimaev. I won't put my belt up, but we're going to go to 205 pounds to do it. I don't think you have to correct me and tell me, Chael, they're not going to move him to 205, and that's just silly, and if there's no belt, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm sharing you what was said. How are those things said? And Chimaev still believe that nobody will fight him, or is he trolling us? Is he just having some fun? Because there's something about it for me that is fun. I do like it. I do like when guys are calling him out. He hasn't been clear on what weight he's going to go. And for me as a fan, it'd be a really helpful detail. His last fight was at 178 pounds. His coaches come out and said, we can't just make 170 on short notice. We can do it, but Chimaev weighs 197 pounds, and we need some time. We're going to need time to get down to the weight class. The coach then said they like a fight, went back to Pereira, but they do want it at 185, and they do want it for a belt. Now, none of these things are bad. All of these things are quite exciting. Anywhere that you want to do it is quite exciting. But I am now pulled in a couple of different directions. Is he a middleweight? Is he a welterweight? We've got to start with that. Not to mention, we've still got to deal with the rumor that was confirmed by Dana that we are looking to do Chimaev and Colby Covington next. I don't know that Chimaev has ever weighed in on Colby Covington. If he has, it was one time, it was quick, and I either missed it or I've forgotten about it. I haven't heard Colby come out and weigh in on anybody, which has been very consistent. When Colby got attacked and hurt, he kind of removed himself from the media, at least, of MMA. Well, what do we make of that? Right? It's all got to be guesses. But while Chimaev is getting challenged, I'll just give you a recent example. Maybe I'm starting here with something, assuming that you guys know this. That recently, as 48 hours ago, Chimaev made a statement that nobody will fight me. 4 guys have been offered me. 4 guys have turned me down. And I'll fight at 70 or 85. 2 in each weight class have said no to me. That was the statement. So then 24 hours ago, Belal Muhammad comes out and says, I will fight you. And that would cover you down there at welterweight. Colby never spoke up and said, hey, dude, I'm already fighting you. Do we make anything from that? And then Paulo Costa said at middleweight, said, I'll fight you at middleweight. So now you got a guy in each division saying that they'll do the match, but there's no match. And what Chimaev does next, I wish, my hope is a sign of what he's going to do for the near future. And we can just call it 2023. And I'm not just talking about opponents, possible title fights, possible number 1 contenderships. I'm talking about weight class. If his next fight is at middleweight, okay, but let's stop and let's just agree right there. We're going to keep him at middleweight for the duration of 2023 because there is a lot more likely path that leads Chimaev to a world title fight than doesn't. If you were to start laying matches out and start laying a roadmap out, The idea that Chimaev challenged for a world title in 2023 is far more likely than not, particularly if he keeps a normal schedule and has 3 matches. Can we agree on that? But every now and then, willingness should get in your own way. I love the Chimaev story. It is the single greatest piece of marketing that I've ever seen within our sport. It was done on accident. Chimaev staying busy, fighting quicker, shorter turnaround times than anybody, and doing it at 2 different weight classes. It was awesome, but they put the brakes on that. So you know what? As great and effective as that is, that's not what we're going to do here. We do things a certain way. He is going to follow that way. I don't disagree with that. I don't have a huge problem with it. I just don't know what weight class we're at. Chimaev versus Pierre, and Pierre is hell with it, but I'm not gonna do it for the belt. I'll see you at 205 pounds. Well played by Pierre. That is a perfect solution for me, and we're not going to make the fight, but you have now solved the problem of your public call out. But if you're going to do it at 205 pounds because it was going to be on short notice with a meaningful amount of notice, can we do it at 185 pounds? And then whoever wins that fight, do we want to see them fight Izzy Adesanya? Because that likely is going to be next. And then now you start to see the problem. Where the answer is, yes, I'm dying to see a wrestler versus a kickboxer. As a matter of fact, I'm dying to see a wrestler versus a kickboxer and then see that same wrestler against another kickboxer, right? I mean, it starts to get a little bit funny, but we still don't have clarity on a weight class, and you have a top guy who's never lost. So at some point, you're going to have to do just that, which is put him in for a world championship at some point. Unless he keeps changing weight classes. Now you just go have some fun with him. Yeah, he's going to knock off some contenders, but you don't use it in a main event spot anyway. He's going to keep on ruining the party for somebody else, but you don't have to give it to him. You see where things get weird? You see where it gets complicated? Do you see where if you're playing checkers, it's real easy to match up Chimaev, but if you're playing chess and you got to think multiple moves ahead, it's hard to know until we know, are you a middleweight or are you a welterweight? And moreover, what are we doing at middleweight? We have a division where we're all guessing that we know what the next fight is, but we don't have the fight. We don't have an announcement. We don't have a venue. We don't have a date. We don't have any pieces of that puzzle glued down yet. And when you look at welterweight, I guess we booked a venue. I guess it's in March. And I guess Leon's going to headline it. And I guess he's going to do it against Kamaru Usman. But if I was to grab a source in the MMA world to cite for you that has said any of those things in the last 45 days, I don't have anything. I could go back 60 days and I could show, oh yeah, it's right here and it's all confirmed. We don't have contracts in place for that yet. We allegedly have a venue. We don't have on sale. We don't have tickets going out. We have a rumor. Kamaru can't make the date. We have Masvidal waiting in the wings, hoping he can't make the date, thinking he can cash in 3-piece in a soda. And we've got a lot more questions than we do answers. And sometimes that's fun, but sometimes that's annoying. Chimaev's a hot issue. He's a massive player in 2 different weight classes. I'm good with that. I'm good with Chimaev being a massive player. I'm good with him being a hot ticket. I got to know the weight class.